right. Good evening, all. Thank you so much for being here. You might be asking yourself, what is this overgrown child doing up front? My name is Michael Todd, and I serve on the board for the Sandbar Storytelling Festival.
You look dapper.
Thank you. All right, well, we have not one, but two incredible guests here today to present to you all. Tom Wynn, is the retired president and CEO at Peerless Chain, and Troy Baumgartner is the director of national and OEM accounts. Tom is known all over town for his generous community support and involvement in organizations like Rotary Club, the WSU Board of Trustees, and the Winona Community Foundation. He spent 27 years in Winona and came to work for Peerless in 1997, just 2 years after I was born. Tom has worked in the chain industry all of his career, starting in Pennsylvania, but found his home here in Winona. Troy Baumgartner was born and raised in the area and started out as a product manager, and climbed through the ranks and various hats. Troy has spent almost 19 years at Peerless and loves our small river town. Please join me in welcoming Tom Wynn.
Michael, thank you for that introduction. And you can tell the difference in the generations. He has a cell phone and I have a bunch of paper. Well, it certainly is great to be with you this evening and share the fascinating story of the Peerless Chain Company. Think about it. Peerless Chain is manufacturing a product that goes back to biblical times. If any of you remember reading in the Old Testament of the Bible that Samson was fettered to the columns. Well, the fetters were chains back in the old days. And Peerless has been making that product in Winona for over 100 years. So, as Mike said, I'm Tom Wynn, and I retired from Peerless Chain in 2018. And a lot of people said when I retired, oh, I'm sure you're going to move south or move to Arizona or something. And we said, no, we're going to stay here. We like Winona. We love this town, and we are staying here. So that's just great. Our presentation tonight is going to be in a number of different parts. We're going to talk a little bit about the history of Peerless. We're going to talk about our growth and how we were able to go from the number 4 market share company in the United States to number 1. We're going to talk about the markets that we serve, the products that we make. We're going to show you our plant and our capabilities, and then we'll make sure we leave time at the end for a little Q&A and questions and answers. And Troy is going to run the slides for me. So let's start with the storied history of Peerless Chain. So if we go back, the year was 1917, over 100 years ago. And 3 Polish immigrant brothers, the Bamaniks, Al, Dom, and Joe, started Peerless Chain in the back of a butcher shop just east of the hog line on Sanborn Street. And what they started out making was tire chains. That was their main product. And they made tire chains for the local farmers. They made tire chains for the government during World War I. We were over there in France, and it was muddy, and they needed tire chains, so they were making tire chains for the government. And that's how we started a long time ago, over 100 years. So then we started to expand and move on, and in 1923, our expansion started, and we moved from that butcher shop on Sanborn Street to downtown Winona. And at one time, believe it or not, some of you might know this, but at one time, we had 5 locations in downtown Winona. Our admin building was the old Godfather's Peerless, or the Godfather Pizza Place. Whetstone Machine was one of our manufacturing facilities. Park Brewery was one of our manufacturing facilities. The Riverfront building was one, and Jefferson's was one of ours. But there was a problem with that. Back then, the river wasn't diked, so it was subject to spring flooding. And I can tell you, running chain equipment underwater does not really work very well. So, and plus, it was a manufacturing nightmare. Any of you that have been in the manufacturing business, you can relate to the fact that trying to move from one building to the other, up multiple floors, across streets, was not really conducive for efficient manufacturing. So, after being flooded for a couple of years, we decided enough's enough. Let's move out of downtown and move to a new location, which we did in 1969 when we moved to our current location, East Sanborn Street. A 350,000 state-of-the-art square foot facility, all on one level at the end of Sanborn Street. At one time, we had 42 acres there, but we realized we didn't need that much land, so we've sold off a good bit of it to, and right now RTP has a facility behind us. But it's a great facility, it's all one level, very efficient, and it's been a great move, and we've been there since 1969. One of the things that's interesting is there are a lot of people, even people from Winona, that say, oh, I've never seen Peerless. Well, it's at the end of Sanborn Street, and you would have no reason to go there unless you were going to Peerless. And if you're going down Sanborn Street, people would end up stopping at Schneep's and never go any further. So a lot of people don't know where we are, but we're right down there. So hold on just a second. Losing my notes. So after we moved, for the next 35 years, we started steady growth, and we were owned by multiple private equity companies. But we were still a relatively small, Midwest-centric company with a market share of about 12%. Seeing the need to expand, we went on an 8-year run of acquiring and integrating 4 strategic companies. The first one was in 2004 when we acquired Weisenfels USA. Weisenfels USA was the domestic arm of an Italian chain company that was based in northern Italy that was actually 100 years older than Peerless, if you can believe that. One of the biggest assets we got with the Weisenfels acquisition was their president, Steve Lister, who was well known internationally and helped us expand our international business and also our government business. After that, in 2006, we bought the American chain company, ACO Chain, which was based in York, Pennsylvania. At one time, ACO was the largest chain company in the world, but they had kind of fallen on some hard times, some poor management, and we were able to acquire them in 2006. You can see in the middle slide there, they had a 400,000 square foot manufacturing facility in York, Pennsylvania. Well, we didn't want to occupy and run another plant, so we made the strategic plan to move it 1,000 miles from York, Pennsylvania to Winona. So we packed up 45 tractor-trailer loads of equipment, inventory, tooling, files, and 1 employee. For some reason, the people in beautiful York, Pennsylvania thought of Winona as the frozen tundra and had no desire to move to our beautiful little community. But that was okay because that opened up, I think, 75 jobs for people in Winona that we were able to hire when we integrated ACO into our facility here. Not only hiring that many people, we also spent $9 million on infrastructure to upgrade our facility to handle the doubling of our chain-making equipment that we were bringing in. And we were actually able to shoehorn the ACO production into our plant without expanding brick and mortar. And it's just kind of like your house. You know, you think your house is full, but when your wife comes home with a new lamp or new furniture, you find a place to put it. Well, we found a place to put 25 new former welders into our plant by moving stuff around and becoming more efficient. That was a real turning point for us when we bought ACO. It actually doubled our chain making equipment, gave us the capacity to make larger and bigger chain, and expanded us into markets that we weren't in before, like the marine chain, galvanized tuna chain, and other things. So that was a real turning point for us. But we weren't done then yet. We kept expanding, and in 2010, we acquired L'Atelier Material Handling. Now, they're not a chain company, but what they make are customized lifting devices that go with chain and are used for things like lifting coils of steel, lifting barrels, lifting girders. They have a manufacturing facility just south of Chicago in South Holland, Michigan, and they're a great complement to our chain business and our chain customers. So that was in 2010, and that expanded our custom lifting business. After that, we acquired in 2011 the Security Chain Company out in Clackamas, just south of Portland, Oregon. They were a leader in traction products and load securement and cargo securement products. And if you go to the next slide, those are an idea of some of the products that they had in their arsenal that fit perfectly in with Peerless. And a lot of people don't realize, but you know, Peerless started as a tire chain company, a traction company, and a lot of people today say, "Oh, aren't those tire chains illegal? You know, you can't use tire chains, right?" Well, believe it or not, Peerless today sells over $40 million in traction products. $40 million in tire chains, traction products. It's a huge, huge business. Primarily, a lot of it out west where it's required, but it's still a big business. So, those were our acquisitions that really helped us grow our company to where we are today. So if we keep moving ahead, in 2014, we sold the company to Kito Corporation, which was a Japanese chain and hoist company. This was the first time in many years that Peerless was not going to be owned by a private equity firm, but actually by a strategic company that was also in the same business of Peerless. So it was a good fit for us because Kito already had a U.S. hoist company called Harrington, and they needed a U.S. chain company, which Peerless fit the bill for that. So in 2014, we became part of the Kito Corporation, and that's a slide of us over in Japan when we sold the company. And things continued to evolve. In 2017, we celebrated our 100th anniversary of making chain here in Winona, Minnesota. And we had a big celebration out at the plant, invited a lot of people, and it was a great success. And we also introduced at that time the Peerless Academy, which is a training session for our customers and our users, primarily to teach them about safe lifting practices, safe use of chain, and to make sure they're using our products safely and in the right way. And we continue to run a number of those every year. And the most recent change for us was in 2023. The Kito Corporation was purchased by KKR, which is a large private equity firm out of New York that also owns the Crosby Group, which is the world's largest manufacturer of lifting and hardware, and combined Kito and Crosby. KKR, the private equity company, also owns Mills Fleet Farm, which is kind of interesting. But this is a dynamic duo now, the Kito and Crosby business combination, and Peerless is now part of that group and a very integral part of Kito and Crosby. This is a little bit to show you about the footprint of Peerless Chain today. You can see our headquarters are here in Winona, Minnesota, where they've been for over 100 years. We manufacture, besides here in Winona, we manufacture in South Holland, Illinois, in Mount Pleasant, Pennsylvania, where we have a facility, and we have warehouses in Clackamas outside of Portland, and also in Necedah, Wisconsin. So that's our footprint for Peerless here in the U.S. The thing that I'm really the most proud of is if you look at this chart, if you look at back in 1999, the Peerless market share was 17% of the U.S. chain market, and we were in 4th place. What we've been able to do since then is basically triple our sales and take our market share up to 44% and be, excuse me, and become the #1 chain company in North America and probably close to #1 in the world. All here in Winona, Minnesota. The other thing that I am so proud of is that, you know, when I joined the company, we thought exporting chain was shipping things to Canada. And now we ship chain to over 32 different countries around the world. And nothing would make me prouder was to walk out on the shipping dock and see barrels of chain going to Korea, Taiwan, Japan, South America, made right here in Winona, Minnesota. So that is a real accomplishment and a real testimony for the hundreds of people that work at Peerless and the great job that they do. And it's been great. What we're going to do now is we're going to take a little break, and because we can't have you all go through the plant, we're going to take you on a virtual tour and show you what chain making is really like. And if this piques your interest a little bit, and you want a little more to look at, when you get some free time, you can Google Modern Marvels on the History Channel. And you can still find, I can't remember the year was, but just digressing for a minute, back when the Gulf oil spill was in 2010, we made over 1 million feet of chain to go in the containment booms. Remember on TV you saw those orange booms that were containing the oil? Well, we made 1 million feet of chain to go in there, and the news picked up on it, and we had people coming in here filming us. And the History Channel came in and did a Modern Marvels thing on Peerless Chain, making chain here in Winona. So and it's still out there on Google. You can see it. It's really pretty cool. So now we're going to go ahead and give you a tour of Peerless Chain.
Established in 1917, Peerless Chain Company began as a small automotive tire chain manufacturer, supplying local garage owners, has evolved into Peerless Industrial Group. Today, Peerless is the market leader in design, manufacturing, and supply of chain, overhead lifting, cargo control, marine, and traction products in North America. Headquartered in Winona, Minnesota, they operate 3 manufacturing locations and 6 distribution centers. The company offers best-in-class products, innovation, and custom solutions to a diverse industrial and consumer customer base. Peerless is recognized around the world for the premium brands of ACO, SCC, Peerless, and the patented products provided within each brand.
Hello and welcome to the Peerless Industrial Group. I'm George Kozanowski, President of Peerless, where our mission is to provide our customers with quality products and services beyond all expectations. As you'll see on today's tour, we manufacture and distribute a wide variety of chains, assemblies, and products to fulfill every need. Whether someone is lifting massive steel structures, tying down cargo, strapping on a set of tire chains, dropping an anchor, or even putting a swing set up, we produce it. Please join us on a tour of our manufacturing facilities, beginning here in Winona, Minnesota at our 350,000 square foot plant. Welcome to Peerless and enjoy your tour.
Raw material comes in as steel coils. Each one of these coils weighs about 4,000 pounds. And at any given day of production, Peerless will go through approximately 40 coils or 80 tons. That translates into approximately 40 miles of chain every day, which equates to about 2.9 million welds. The raw coils arrive from the steel mills with some scale on their surface, so they must be cleaned and prepped before their transformation begins. A 20-minute soak in 5,000 gallons of sulfuric acid usually does the trick. Once the acid is washed away, the coil is dumped again in a lime bath to smooth the surface. After the coils have been cleaned and prepped, they move to the wire draw department. There, the coils, resembling giant slinkies, are drawn down to a very specific diameter. The huge rod is uncoiled and fed into a machine that narrows it down with a smooth, shiny finish. The forming and welding department is really the heart and soul of the chain making process. This is where we take the rod that we have prepped and formed and weld it into chain. The wire is notched into slugs and formed into the shape of a link. The link ends are fused and forged together in the resistant welding process. In this welding process, the temperature can be in excess of 1800 degrees Fahrenheit. The chain weld is trimmed and is ready to be calibrated. For applications where high-strength chain is required, Peerless is able to make the chain stronger through the heat treating process. Peerless alloy chain is heated to about 1700 to 1800 degrees Fahrenheit, quenched, reheat treated for temper about 500 to 600 degrees Fahrenheit, and quenched again. This is done to give the chain improved durability and ductility. Peerless makes chain that is used in various environments, so an added layer of protection to resist corrosion is often required. Peerless offers a wide variety of finishes to satisfy the need of our customer. In the marine market, the Peerless Aqua brand and its galvanized finish is well respected around the world. The galvanizing process begins with the zinc being heated to 850 degrees Fahrenheit. Then the chain passes through the molten zinc and the zinc adheres to the chain. This puts a protective coating that inhibits rusting in tough environments like saltwater. The excess plating is burned off, producing the corrosion-resistant galvanizing finish that Peerless Aqua brand is known for. For Peerless, the proof test is one of the most critical steps. Every chain is tested and must survive well beyond its declared working load limit. The chain will be pulled up to 2.5 times the working load limit. Once the chain has proven its strength and is plated or coated, it is considered to be in a finished state and is ready to be packaged and shipped to our customers. With locations in Jeannette, Pennsylvania and South Holland, Illinois, Peerless product capabilities range from below the hook and material handling equipment to overhead lifting chain and accessories. Special attachments and lifting devices can be designed and manufactured to meet specific application requirements from a variety of different materials. Material is heated, bent, welded, trimmed, heat treated, proof tested, cleaned and certified to solve any below-the-hook lifting requirements. 100% of all Peerless lifting products are proof tested with horizontal proof test capabilities up to 1.2 million pounds and 40 feet in length, and vertical proof testing capabilities up to 450,000 pounds. All products are tested and manufactured per ASME and OSHA requirements. Our engineering capabilities allow Peerless to continually improve our standard product offering and also design custom products to meet the needs of our customers. All Peerless locations maintain strict quality standards on every product manufactured. Products are followed carefully through the production process until completed. The products are reviewed and inspected by quality individuals to ensure all specifications are met. Peerless maintains full traceabilities of manufactured product. Safety training and inspection services are available both in-house and on-site, including repairs and modifications. Peerless products can be found in a variety of industries, from forestry and marine to construction and overhead lifting, and are available at various retail outlets. Peerless premium product brands are recognized worldwide.
Welcome back, and we hope you enjoyed the tour. We thank you for taking the time to view our facilities and the pride we take in supplying best-in-class products. It's no wonder people think of the Peerless Industrial Group for all of their chain and accessory needs. For more information about Peerless, please visit us online, and thank you for joining us.
So that's a good segue, and I'm going to turn it over to Troy to talk about markets and products.
Good evening. One thing before I move on is I wanted to talk about the video. So as Tom mentioned, Modern Marvels kind of launched us into video at Peerless. And I do remember working with that team of people, and then also with Tom. And I don't know if you know it, Tom, our nickname for you was One Take Tom, because he was not shy of the camera at all. Unlike George, who you saw in that video, our current president, does not like to be in front of the camera at all. Tom, on the other hand, has no problem. We would create a script for him. He would look at it and then kind of put it aside and just come up with something off the top of his head anyway. So I wanted to talk to you a bit about our capabilities at Peerless, our products at Peerless, and then some of the markets that we serve. So and the other thing I wanted to mention too is I don't have any notes on paper or on my cell phone, and the reason for that is because much of what you have already seen and are going to see is the same presentation that we give our customers when they come to visit us at our facility. And the reason we get them there is not only to train them about the products that we have, but we like to show off that 350,000 square foot facility that we have. So I've gone through this presentation many times with our customers. But anyway, our chain making capabilities here at our Winona facility, we can make chain up to and through 1 inch in diameter, and that's welded chain. So we only make welded chain at this facility. There's also another type of chain known as weldless chain, and the difference, of course, the chain that we make in this facility is welded, as you saw on the video. And then weldless chain, examples of weldless chain would be chain that you would maybe use to hang a light fixture, or a bird feeder, or sash chain was used in old windows, literally in the sash of the windows. On one end was the window itself attached to a weight, and that would help you lower and raise a window. So that those are examples of formed but not welded chain. We offer that chain, but we do not make it at the facility here in Winona. So the chain grades, we grade all of our chain for various applications for various markets. And as you can see, grade 30, 43, 63, 70, 80, and 100. So